Hello, this is going to be under personal chat. It's 11:36 p.m. Sunday, September 9th, 2012. The past few hours I just spent going over the comments, and I believe I'm up to, I'll find out right now. I think I'm up to uh, the 5th, the 5th month, so May, so I'm kind of getting closer. What happened was I can no longer send private messages to YouTube for the time being. It kind of locked me out of the system because I guess it thought that I was a spam bot. Because of my, well, the way that I operated is if you subscribe, you get a, if I look to see where you're located from, and then I send you a message letting you know that I appreciate that. So it locked me out of the system for a while. I don't know for how long. So I decided to take a small break and do a personal chat video. There's some things that I wanted to share, but I didn't. I forgot. When was it? Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I did spend some time and I went over in Cliffside Park and I looked for some apartments. I found some pretty decent places, uh, but because my stepfather called me from Hawaii and told me that he was willing to pay for my living expenses, or at least my apartment, which is a good thing because uh, it's something that I need. Um, Sorry, let me look for this place. But then I thought to myself, after looking for a few of these places, some of the people I met were decent, and there was just one, like, kind of I guess I hate to be insulting, but I guess incompetent person. He was lying to me, etc. He was making up stuff. And I was asking him, questions. But if I ask you a question, or anything, if you ask me a question, and I don't know the answer to it, I'm gonna tell you I don't know. But he was just making up nonsense because he just wanted to sell the apartment, to find somebody to live in it as soon as possible. And didn't care who, etc. So then, the price range that I looked at, there was an apartment for 1450. There was an apartment for 1250. For 1250, there was an apartment for 1250. Then there was another one for 1100. So I looked at four apartments. Uh, but then I thought to myself, I should find out how much money my stepfather is willing to spend because I wasn't sure. And again, it was very hard to get a specific amount, an answer from him, like a specific amount. So I don't know. I have very little faith in that it'll work out that way that I need it to work out. So I don't really concern myself with it too much. He helps me. He helps me. He doesn't. He doesn't. I could care less. Um, Either way, because the words are the most important thing here. And as long as that I get the words that I need to get out, that's it works. Um, so that's that about the apartment and about that. There's one more thing I want to share. Yeah, I started to address some people that messaged me about that fraudulent company, Preferred Guest Resorts, or PGR, and they operate under another business name. The one that I did a few videos about, and I did mention it in some videos from one point or another, but I had a few people that contacted me in the fourth month, or in the fifth month as well. And at the time, I remember I checked it out, but it was just too overwhelming for me to deal with. And I hope that I would still be able to help them. But I hope better. Ideally, I hope they resolved it on their own. But I messaged them and I, prepared to help them out the way, I gave them some information already. And I don't want to, like again, like I'm not gonna do everything for them in order to get their money back. I mean, I'm going to give them the tools that they need, and then they need to apply themselves, and then they will get their money back. And that's a lot. That's when people talk about government assistance programs, that's what needs to be done. simply me doing, me simply going, applying, me simply prov providing the tools, and then me using the tools that I provide to help these people that are having problem with this company is not the solution. I give them the tools, and then they apply themselves if they so desire. And that's the way that the government assistance programs needs to operate. They need to give the tools to the people that rely on these government assistance programs, and then they apply themselves. But at the same time, it cannot just be based on that one philosophy, because there are cases of um, just cases of bad luck. I mean, a person that does everything right, has been taught properly, raised properly on self-reliance, on that they no one's going to help them but themselves, but just bad luck and just all this a series of these unfortunate events occur. At the same time, we need to regard that. And again, every possible scenario for a person to be unfortunate, or basically unfortunate to find themselves relying on the government assistance programs, or needing the government assistance programs, needs to be examined and written down on paper, every single possible scenario. And then the whole system needs to be built on that, on how to better the person and help that person. Because it's too often that these assistance programs are just giving money away without any real understanding on what is it that they're helping this person by just simply giving the money away. With that said, I just had a situation, not a situation, a friend, a couple of years back, and he seemed like a very competent person. He had some problems in family, I guess, but he stopped working, um, and he got out of unemployment. And and I met other people. They were like, "Oh, you should get on underemployment on unemployment. You're not working right now. Well, like, there's this money you can be getting." It's like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know. So he was my friend that I was talking about. He was on the unemployment program, and he told me about it every week. He just goes to this place, he collects his check, and he tells him that, like, oh, you know I'm trying to look for a job, but I can't find anything. But in reality, he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't looking for a job. He could care less. He was happy he was getting this check, and then he was even more happier when the unemployment was expanded, so he could spend more time not looking for a job, or not thinking about a way to better himself and examine what it is that's wrong in his life. He just got comfortable with this arrangement. And then in another year it was expanded, the unemployment, and he just kept going on with it. I don't have no idea what he's doing now. I tried to reach out to him a while ago, but he kind of, I don't know. I was always regarded as the weird one. So, I mean, no, I mean, I think he was a decent friend. I don't know. We don't really talk anymore. So with that experience in mind, that tells me that there's, when somebody goes to unemployment, there's really no scrutiny, or at least some sort of investigation to make sure that this person is actually trying to look for a job, or applying effort. I don't know. Like, for instance, with the Wall Street movement that's been happening all over the place, I've been thinking to myself, is it not? Why hasn't anybody thought to themselves to get a big blackboard, um, and start putting job postings for these people at the Occupy Wall Street movement? Because not all of the people part of this movement are necessarily um, part of the movement the way that some people are. Because I found in some cases that it's basically a way for some of the homeless people that have been living outside, for a way to get a little bit more for them, at least some sort of unity, and at least the sort of mere fact that they could sleep knowing that there's somebody there watching. I mean, that could be a real problem when you go homeless, or if I ever go homeless, that I have to be sleeping somewhere, and it's going to be outdoors, and anything could happen to me while I'm sleeping. Somebody can come over and kick me. Somebody can come over and cut my throat. Somebody can come over and think to tie me up and do some sort of a YouTube video. I saw this on YouTube, that there was a group of guys, and what they did was, I don't know if this was real, but if it was real, Jesus, wow. What they did was they would go to random places where homeless people are sleeping, and they would go out there with the camera, and then they would jump on top of the homeless person, and they would do a film, and they would record it as if this person was capturing an animal, and he would like, oh, you can see that he's been living outside based on his hands, and they were just completely degrading this individual. That I'm sorry, Charles. What is it? What is it? I'm sorry, Charles. I think Charles has been going a little nutty lately. Um, because I don't know why, but uh, I don't know if this has any impact on my cat, but I've never neutered him, or I'm feeling. You know what? I think maybe I'm gonna pet him a little bit. I've never neutered my cat. Uh, but you know, at the same time, I'm quite happy and proud that, you know, in reality, most of the comments I've been reading and answering back, most, actually, if not all, really, there's just a few bad ones, have been pretty decent and contributing or positive in nature. I know it's, you know, maybe it's because I'm not, I don't have a larger audience, but I've noticed that on some YouTube channels, there's a lot of negativity that's posted, or maybe because of whatever reason. I don't get a lot of negative criticism. Criticism is a good thing, though. It's just negative criticism or unconstructive criticism is bad. Criticism, it has to be constructive. It has to be. It doesn't necessarily need to be positive or negative. It has to be in reality neutral. Uh, Simply saying this sucks does not make you a critic. Uh, Taxes. One of the issues I'm having with my stepfather at the same time. I don't think he quite understands that the realities of me looking out for a place is one of the questions that's asked is in terms of, you know, do I have an income? Because it's important for them to know that I will be able to pay rent every month, and I cannot provide them a place of employment that I work at or some sort of an income. I don't have an income. I mean, I'm in the minus. So it'd be really hard for me to explain to them my situation because they would not understand it. They've they don't understand something. I mean, they would probably not understand it. At the same time, it's none of their concern. They're concerned about renting the place and making sure that they're getting paid every month, and they cannot take any risks. So it's reasonable for them to completely scrutinize me. So one of the things I had a conversation with my father was my stepfather. What I wanted was, I guess, a large sum of money that I can keep, that I can put into my bank, and not simply be getting some sort of payments or money in installments, because I cannot. That does not help me because at the very least, I would be able to at least provide a statement of my bank account to these people to let them know how much money I have in my bank account. Um, if I cannot do that, because certainly I cannot provide them my tax return once complete is just is gonna say that I'm living 10 times below the poverty level of the United States. They're not gonna rent. They're gonna ask me how I managed to survive this long and this little. I did. Um, yeah. It's good that I asked that question. If somebody's watching this still, um, at least one person. But at the same time, it's Sunday, and I can't expect the people who do watch this to watch this every time this is uploaded. Um, I think the safest measurement would be to measure it on a weekly basis, because somebody might come and watch this in a week. Maybe today's Sunday, somebody might watch this on Friday or Saturday. I guess in that case they would sit down and watch a bunch of them, a bunch of videos that I uploaded. So having said that, I don't think I have anything else to share at this present moment. I'm going to resume back to answering the comments, and hopefully by early Monday morning, at least it's almost midnight. Hopefully by at least midday Monday, that's more realistic. Midday Monday, I would have completed the answering to the comments, and then I can resume back to the taxes. So on Tuesday, I can go and then just sit down with somebody and answer and file my taxes, because that's important to do. My operation with Oliver, I'm waiting till by the end of the week. He says that he should have something for me. Maybe possible. Hopefully a template for the website. Yeah. So that's that. Hopefully you're having a great day, and if you're not, hopefully now you will. Adios.